that you give your wisdom and your guidance to all of us here, that you protect everyone in this room, these students, teachers, parents, everyone, that you continue to heal our community. We know that there are many out there, and some within our own family here within our school district, that need your support. They need your strength. They need your healing. Please do that for them. Please always be within us and allow us to live each day more like you, and let our hearts feel your presence in each and every day. In your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please address the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sounds good.
Ms. Hogan, have there been any changes to the agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see all of your beautiful faces this evening. It's our last meeting of 2025, so I'm excited to kick it off this way. And we will start with Ms. Boyle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is going to be a little bit of a surprise, and I'm glad, it's very fitting that all of you are here this evening. As a little background to everyone, I don't know if anyone in the room has heard of the Florida Tax Watch. Anybody hear of that? Maybe some FFA students? Oh, council has. Leading up to this, and I think Miss Angela can tell you, I was contacted by the Florida Tax Watch via email a few times. And we both thought that, number one, it could be a scam. We weren't sure. But finally, they were persistent, and I was able to get someone on the phone. And this person gave me a little bit of background about the Florida Tax Watch. And they said, we have one of your principals on our list, and we need to interview you and ask you a few questions about this principal. I went, okay, that's fine. They said, after we question you, we will go ahead and get with our panel, and we will determine if this particular principal wins what they call the Tax Watch Principal Leadership Award. So it took a little bit, went through the interview process, and lo and behold, it wasn't but a few days ago that I was contacted again, and the principal that they had, among many, she told me that our principal here in Levy County had won. And let me tell you what they look at. This principal is not nominated by us, any of us, in Levy County. This is something that this program does since 2013 to identify Florida's most effective principals in high-risk K-12 public schools. A little bit more. The program, the Tax Watch Florida, it analyzes student performance data over several consecutive years, and the results are weighted to find those principals making a difference in communities that need the attention most. So with that said, this evening, it's definitely a surprise, the principal that was chosen for the Principal Leadership Award, and this will be for the leadership that this principal gave to Yankeetown School, is none other than Mrs. D. Westfall. I'm just thankful that I didn't figure it was scam. This is for you. Congratulations. So proud of you. And I don't know all the specifics yet, but so far what I do know that was sent to me is in the spring, you will be recognized at a location and date to be determined, and you can pick however many people you want to bring with you. But it's a ceremony for you. You will receive a $1,000 cash prize. You will receive a plaque. They can see flowers. You will have a table space for guests at the award ceremony. And this is exciting. You had the opportunity to nominate one student from your school to receive a 2-year academic A+ challenge match scholarship.
Wow.
So congratulations. I kept it a secret from everyone except Angela. Yeah. No.
Oh, don't crack the lens
Oh,
with
come
me.
on. No, come
Get
on
up in there. Y'all get in there together.
Get in there together.
Let Ashley get up there.
There's Yankee Town.
You shank down, go. Go, Ashley.
All of you.
Ashley.
Everybody, come on. Everybody. You are the principal and the whole.
We keep the board moving.
Don't put me about tall and skinny. About tall and skinny. All y'all get in there. I'm feeling the end. No, you get up there. Get up there by Miss West. Drop it. Relax, bro.
No sucking in all I had.
You just laughed at it. That Whitehurst girl ain't smiling different.
You serious?
Yes, I will keep on.
We're at a board meeting.
All right. Did you switch for the next highlight? We have your Williston Middle High School FFA.
The FFA Par Pro contest consists of 3 major parts: a written exam of general knowledge, usually 25 questions, a team demonstration, which you will see tonight, and oral questions for all team members after the demonstration. The team members are Katie Troop, Audrey Hardy, Mabry Whitehurst, Catalea LeBlanc, Skylar Brooks, Remington Cooper, Kale Curry, and Macy Long. Our team competed at sub-district in Chiefland, where we placed first. We will compete again in January at district in Lafayette. We are excited to compete and have been studying very hard to learn. We are thankful for our Par Pro coaches, Ms. Cooey, Ms. Priscilla Hires, Ms. Jamie Darrells, and Mr. Robbie Sistrom.
Yeah. I know.
He wins.
Is there any further business to come before this meeting?
Mr. Chairman.
Miss Whitehurst.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that our chapter conduct a supervised agricultural experience project tour for incoming 6th graders.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that our chapter conduct a supervised agriculture experience project tour for incoming 6th graders. Miss Whitehurst, as the maker of the motion, you have the first right to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Supervised agricultural experiences, better known as SAEs, are projects FFA members do outside of FFA that relate back to agriculture. Since every FFA member has to have one, I think that this would be very beneficial for our chapter. So please join me in passing this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Miss True.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the assembly to fail this motion. When I was in 6th grade, I didn't even know what agriculture was. Instead of rushing into SAEs, I believe we should let our 6th graders take an introduction class, like Introduction to Ag, which can not only help them learn about SAEs, but it can help them pick an SAE that fits their personality. Please help me fail this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Miss Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to pass this main motion. A great place that we could hold this event would be in our cafeteria, and we could have various booths about the different SAEs and what they do, so our incoming sixth graders can go around and see what we have to offer in our agriculture classes and for our SAEs. So I encourage the Assembly to pass this main motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. LeBlanc.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I implore the Assembly to vote up on this motion. Last year, we did an SAE Agriculture Experience Project Tour, and it really benefited me a lot. This year, I decided to grow tomatoes for my SAE because of the project tour that we did. So I encourage the Assembly to vote up on this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Brooks.
I encourage the Assembly to vote up on this motion. We just purchased a minibus and a truck, and our ag teachers can drive these vehicles and help transport students. Please help me in passing this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Whitehurst.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to pass this motion. Many of the SAEs in Williston are beef and swine production, and I think that this SAE project tour could help get some diversity within our SAEs. So I encourage the Assembly to pass this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. LeBlanc.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I implore the Assembly to vote up on this motion. I believe a great time to host this project tour would be in February during National FFA Week, because it is a time when we go to the elementary school and talk to incoming sixth graders and younger students about agriculture. So I encourage the Assembly to vote up on this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. True.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to fail this main motion. I believe that SAEs require leadership and organization skills which are normally developed at a later age. I just don't think that our sixth graders are ready for the commitment it takes to have a good SAE. Please help me fail this main motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to vote up on this main motion. If we teach our incoming sixth graders, current fifth graders, about all our different SAE opportunities, they could also learn more hands-on things for in the classroom. So whenever they get to apply for what extracurriculars they're going to do, they can also have agriculture and FFA online, whatever they pick. So I encourage the Assembly to pass this main motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Brooks.
I encourage the Assembly to vote up on this motion. A lot of people do not understand an SAE, and seeing real projects would help them better understand SAE. So please help me in passing this main motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. LeBlanc.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to amend this motion by striking out project tour and adding in workshop. So if passed, this motion would read, I move that our chapter conduct a supervised agriculture experience workshop for our incoming sixth graders.
It
Second.
has been properly moved and seconded that we amend this motion by striking out project toward inserting the word workshop. So if passed, would read, I move that our chapter conduct a supervised agriculture experience workshop for our incoming sixth graders. This subsidiary motion is debatable and amendable. Ms. LeBlanc, as the maker of the motion, you have the first right to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I made this amendment because workshops are very hands-on and specific, and I believe if we did a workshop, our sixth graders could gain more personal and one-on-one information than doing a project tour. So I encourage the Assembly to vote up on this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to pass this amendment. In previous years, we have held this event where we have multiple advisors and older FFA students walking around where they can see and help out with the SAE. So our incoming sixth graders can really learn how to build an SAE and help out their agriculture experience altogether. So I encourage the Assembly to pass this main motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Whitehurst.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to fail this motion. I think that a workshop would take a lot more time since it's more one-on-one. And this is time we don't have. So I encourage the Assembly to fail this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Brooks.
I encourage the Assembly to pass this amendment. A workshop would be easier to plan because sixth graders can remain in one place instead of going around on a tour. So please help me in passing this amendment.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. True.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage the Assembly to fail this amendment. I believe to really showcase our SAEs, we would have to go to the different facilities and farms where they really came to life, so that our incoming sixth graders could see what it really takes for their specific SAEs, and we could can also showcase all of the hard work our members have put into this. So please help me bail this amendment.
Is there any more debate on the amendment? Hearing none, now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it, and the amendment fails. Is there any more debate on the motion that our chapter conduct a supervised agriculture experience?
I call for a division of the assembly.
A division has been called for. We'll now take a vote by more visible means. All in favor of passing this amendment, please rise. 3, thank you. All opposed, same sign. 2, thank you. With 3 in the affirmative and 2 in the negative, the amendment passes. We will amend this motion by changing it to read, I move that our chapter conduct a supervised agriculture experience workshop for our incoming 6th graders. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Brooks.
I move that when we adjourn me back at 5 o'clock on Friday at 5 p.m. in the Ag Shop.
It's
Second.
been properly moved and seconded that when we adjourn to be back on Friday at 5 o'clock in the Ag Shop. This privileged motion is not debatable but is amendable by time. Are you hearing the amendments? Hearing none, we now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing this motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion passes. When we adjourn, we will adjourn to be back on Friday at 5 o'clock in the Ag Shop. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Whitehurst.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to lay this motion on the table.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we lay this motion on the table. The subsidiary motion is neither debatable nor amendable, therefore we will head straight to the vote. All in favor of passing this motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it and the motion fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
I rise to a question of personal privilege.
State your question.
It is getting rather warm in here. May I please remove my official FFA jacket?
You may not, as a standing rule of our FFA chapter, that we keep on our official dress during regular meetings. Therefore, I cannot grant your request. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Hardy.
I move that we take a 5-minute recess for informal consultation.
It
Second.
has been properly moved and seconded that we take a 5-minute recess for informal consultation. This privileged motion is not debatable but is amendable by time. Are you hearing the amendments? Hearing none, we now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing this recess, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. In
Nay.
the opinion of the chair, the nays have it and the recess fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
I rise to a question of parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What are my rights to debate on this motion?
You may speak for two turns for a maximum of 10 minutes each. Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Brooks.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
It
Second.
has been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. This privileged motion is not debatable nor amendable, therefore we will head straight to a vote. All in favor of passing this adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it and the adjournment fails. Is there any more debate on the main motion?
Megan, are you going to the basketball game?
I rise to a point of order.
State your point.
Members are speaking without recognition of the chair.
Point well taken. Members, please refrain from speaking without recognition from the chair. Is there any more debate on the main motion? Hearing none, we now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing this motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion passes. Our chapter will now conduct a supervised agriculture workshop for our incoming 6th graders. Members, please be reminded that when we adjourn to be back on Friday at 5 o'clock in the Ag Shop. Meeting adjourned.
Is it still in one piece? It's still in one piece?
Pretty close. For more visible means of.
A new handle.
We don't have a fancy speaker like the middle school. I apologize. Like the middle school team at sub-districts, our high school team also plays first. We will also be competing at districts in Lafayette. I have asked Mr. Bennett to put a timer on. I'm hoping that this big screen will keep them under time because we have a hard time with that. So fingers crossed. We're looking for 11 minutes or less. So, and I should introduce you guys. This is Peyton, Carly, Annabelle, Angelica, Cash, and Estella.
Welcome.
there any new business to come before the Assembly?
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Bateman.
I move that our chapter host a community forum on the importance of protecting agricultural land in Florida.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that our chapter host a community forum on the importance of protecting agricultural land in Florida. This motion is debatable and amendable. Mr. Bateman, as the maker of the motion, you have the first right to speak.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I made this motion because being from a rural town, it is our job as an FFA chapter to advocate for rural communities. As Gainesville and Ocala both approach rural land and are increasing urban sprawl, we are seeing a decrease in the amount of rural agricultural land in Florida. I believe this community forum could help advocate for those farmers. For these reasons, pass the motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Chairman.
Ms. Eunices.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Members, please vote with me in passing this motion. Seeing as there's so many lands that are being destroyed in Florida, there are already acts set in place, such as the Rural Land Protection Act. If we were able to host a community forum on acts such like this, we could really inform our community on why our land is the most important asset that we have, and how we are helping feed America by producing the crops that our town has been producing since the 1800s. Vote with me in passing, please.
Madam Chairman.
Mr. Hires.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to suspend the standing rule that an advisor must be present for a vote to be taken.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we suspend the standing rule that an advisor must be present for a vote to be taken. This motion is not debatable nor amendable and requires a 2/3 vote for passage.
I rise for a point of order.
State your point.
The motion to suspend the rules requires a majority vote for passage, not 2/3.
Point not well taken.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
State your appeal.
According to Robert's Rules of Orders, the motion to appeal requires a 2/3 vote for to suspend the rules, but a majority for a standing rule.
The decision of the chair has been appealed. All in favor of sustaining the chair's decision, please rise. All opposed, same sign. 5, thank you. With none in the affirmative and 5 in the negative, the chair's decision is not sustained. Suspend the rules requires a majority vote for passage. All in favor of suspending the standing rule, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and we will suspend the standing rule that an advisor must be present for a vote to be taken. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chairman.
Ms. Whitehurst.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. In the FFA Creed, Ian Tiffany coined the phrase, I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true. As the next generation of agriculturists, it's essential that we safeguard our rights as agriculturists and protect our farmland in this community forum. Vote yes.
Madam Chairman.
Ms. Bertrand.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I implore the Assembly to pass this motion because we have a perfect place we can host this community forum at our local agritourism hotspot, the Blueberry Farm. And I think while we have this community forum at this Blueberry Farm, we'll be able to show the importance of agricultural land. Pass the motion.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hires.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am in favor of this main motion. As Williston is a relatively small town, we are very big on tradition and upholding past values. I believe that showing our community that we care about the land and the legacy of this town will greatly help our FFA chapter's membership rates. So please vote me in passing this main motion.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Bateman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I stand in favor of this motion. I believe that if we hosted this community forum, we could invite some of our local lawmakers and policy writers to help them advocate for farmers, just as we are advocating in our small towns. For these reasons, pass the motion.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Eunices.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we refer this motion to a special committee of 3 with the power to act.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we refer this motion to a special committee of 3 with the power to act. This motion is debatable and amendable. Ms. Eunices, as the maker of the motion, you have the first right to speak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, please vote with me in passing this referral. I think that this motion is of huge importance to not only our community but our chapter. If we were able to show how much we truly care about the land that the Lord has given us. And if we were able to refer this, we would be able to take the time that we really needed to look over, plan out everything that we needed, and gather the resources so that we could do such a great way to find all the information we needed to really greatly inform our community. Vote with me in passing.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Bateman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am not in favor of this motion. Although I do believe that it's important that we put a lot of time and effort into this motion. With this motion having the power to act, this means that 3 members of our society are allowed to vote for this matter. I believe that this motion requires more say than just 3 members. For these reasons, fail the referral.
Madam Chairman.
Ms. Bertrand.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I implore the Assembly to fail this referral because the 3 members that are on our special board, they are really educated in our agricultural land, and I think they be able to put their best foot forward for this motion. Pass the amendment.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Whitehurst.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I disagree with the previous speakers. If we were to refer this motion to a committee, this would give us plenty of time to contact our local Ethics Extension office in Bronson, which is an excellent resource on this community forum, as they have information and infographics about our agricultural land in our community. Vote yes.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hires.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm not in favor of this referral. With a motion like this, it's best that we go through with it as soon as possible, and I just don't believe that it would be beneficial for our chapter to wait for the committee to get back to us before we go through this motion. So please vote me in failing this referral.
Is there any further debate on the referral? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing the referral, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it and the referral fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
I rise to a parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What are my voting rights concerning the main motion?
Your voting rights include or you can speak for a majority. Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Whitehurst.
I move that we amend this motion by adding on in partnership with Florida Farm Bureau so that if passed, the main motion would read, I move our chapter host a community forum on the importance of protecting agricultural land in Florida in partnership with Florida Farm Bureau.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we amend this motion by adding on in partnership with Florida Farm Bureau so that if passed, the motion would read that our chapter hosts a community forum on the importance of protecting agricultural land in Florida in partnership with Florida Farm Bureau. Is Ms. Whitehurst, as maker of the motion, you have the first right to speak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Please vote up on this motion. Former Levy County FFA alumni, Ms. Jamie Geralds, currently is a big advocate on behalf of our FFA chapter with the Florida Farm Bureau. I think having that contact would give us the necessary contact for this community forum in contact with Florida Farm Bureau. Vote yes.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Bateman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amendment is vital to the main motion. Florida Farm Bureau works to advocate for local farmers and also educate them on local policies that may affect them. I believe that this will be so vital to helping protect agricultural land in Florida, especially rural Florida. So for these reasons, please pass the amendment.
Madam Chairman.
Ms. Bertrand.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I implore the Assembly to pass this amendment because a lot of our community is a part of the Farm Bureau, and I know every single one of them would love to put their input on this community forum. So pass the motion.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Genesis. Thank you, Madam
Chair, and this concerns me in passing this amendment. I think that the Florida Farm Bureau is a great choice for partnership on this motion, seeing as they are already so informed on how much the land of our state means to us. So if we could partner with them, we can form our community of that informed as well. Vote with me in passing.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hires.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm in favor of this amendment. As this forum will be a sort of a gift to our community, I believe it would be good for our chapter to draw the funds for this forum from a source other than our community itself. I believe that will be very good for our chapter standing in our community. So please vote me in passing this amendment.
Is there any further debate on the amendment? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and we will amend this motion. Our main motion now reads that our chapter hosts a community forum on the importance of protecting agricultural land in Florida in partnership with Florida Farm Bureau. Is there any further debate on this motion?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Whitehurst.
I move that we lay this motion on the table due to the arrival of our guest speaker.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we lay this motion on the table. This motion is not debatable nor amendable and requires a majority vote for passage. All in favor of passing this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it, and we will not lay this motion on the table. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chairman.
Ms. Bertrand.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move that when we adjourn to reconvene next Thursday in the Ag Shop.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that when we adjourn to reconvene next Thursday at 3 o'clock in the Ag Shop. This motion is not debatable nor amendable, and we will now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it, and this motion fails.
Division.
A division has been called for, and we will now vote by more visible means. All in favor of passing the motion, please rise. 2, thank you. All opposed, same sign. 3, thank you. With 2 in the affirmative and 3 in the negative, the motion fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Genesis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, it is vital that you vote with me on this motion. Our FFA motto has a line that says living to serve. We cannot serve if we do not protect our agricultural land in our state. Not only do our crops and our food and our livestock all need this land, but so do we. There is no humanity if there is no earth. Vote with me in passing.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Bertrand.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I implore the pass this motion because growing up in a rural community, all surrounding you is jobs on agriculture land. And if we have this community forum to protect the agriculture land, the 2% of America that is working on agriculture land will be able to be protected and they can keep their jobs. Pass the motion.
Madam Chair, Ms. Whitehurst. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Please vote up on this motion. I come from 5 generations of Americans who provide the food, fiber, and fuel of today's growing population. It's essential that we have this community forum in order to spread the knowledge of the agriculture industry and therefore safeguard our rights as the American farms and ranches. Vote yes.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Ayers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm in favor of this main motion. As an FFA chapter, we draw a lot of our funding and support from our FFA alumni, which consists largely of agricultural producers in our town. I believe that they would appreciate our initiative on this main motion, and it would benefit our chapter greatly. So please vote me in passing this main motion.
Is there any further debate on the main motion? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All in favor of passing the main motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the main motion passes. We are about to adjourn this meeting, but before we adjourn, I would like to remind the assembly that when we adjourn to reconvene next Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the Ag Shop. Meeting adjourned.
Good job.
Very good job.
Why the time frame?
How much time is it deducted? 2 points per second.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Y'all have me convinced we need
So,
to.
I mean, to me,
Yeah, okay.
you're talking so fast as it is. How are you supposed to make that any faster?
Talk less.
Talk less?
Who's the biggest competitor? Who's your biggest threat? Always, right?
And that's where districts are.
That's right, home
Yeah,
turf.
home court.
Yeah. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Absolutely.
Can I ask how old the middle schoolers work? How old are y'all?
There's 7th and 8th grade.
Did I ask?
No, Macy.
How old are y'all?
They're 6.
7th and 8th grade.
How old are y'all?
Who?
12, 11, 13.
11?
Who's 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Macy and Cam 11.
Okay, and the young man with the last name Cooper, are you related to Miss Clemenza? Because you beat a gavel like her.
That one is. I'll claim that one.
Yeah, that one is.
That was
Hey, is there some
phenomenal.
special announcement also about today? Is there something special today?
It's Annabelle's birthday.
I think it would be nice if we all sang happy birthday. And I don't sing, but I think we should do it. All right? So somebody that has a better voice than me, start it.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Annabelle. Happy birthday to you.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
You should make your dad take you to dinner tonight, then, since it's
We gotta get the beat there.
No, you
Quit
can't
wasting
leave.
time. Let's get it. Where we going? Where we going? I got my own money, Daddy.
We'll take a 5-minute break unless you guys want to listen to the audit outcomes with Ms. Lake. If you'll pass, 5-minute break.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all for
Good
that.
job.
Good job.
Such a good job.
Golly. Wherever you are.
You're good.
No, please stand
Yeah.
up.
You're going, Rocker.
Okay, next on the agenda, Ms. Lake with the audit outcomes.
That's happened a couple times, hasn't it?
I'm going to try to talk as fast as they did.
We'll put you on timer.
Yeah.
Right. 11 minutes.
Yes, keep it 11 minutes. Okay, I'm going to start with our internal audit findings. That portion will be a little bit longer.
Annually, we have Purvis and Gray who audits our internal accounts, and by internal accounts, I mean all the school-based accounts. So, this, page 1 says, in their opinion, the financial statements were presented fairly in all material respects, but we did have 3 findings and 1 management concern. So if you go to page 26 of the Purvis and Gray audit report, you'll see in a little table those findings and as they have carried from year to year. So these are findings that we've had every year. Finding number 1 was segregation of duties. So that's where they want controls where the same person are not performing the same activities. The person writing your check should not be the person balancing your bank statements. Cash reporting, we have a deadline for how long it takes for cash collected to be received and deposited. So we had some issues with timeliness. And the purchasing and cash disbursement process was finding number 3. And it says there were several instances where purchases were made prior to obtaining principal approval. So there was signature approval, but in these cases that approval was not attached to the PO. So that is a problem. There should always be prior approval. And then the management concern that did not rise to the level of a finding is incorrect recording of an interbank transfer. So just to simplify that, we had a school, Chiefland Middle High School, that changed banks. When they changed banks, the way we handled it on our end, they didn't like. So that's a case that probably would never happen again. It was just the way that we accounted for those funds as it transferred banks. So we have a solution to fix that because that's an issue when we don't change them at the beginning of the year. So I'll go through very quickly the number of findings per school. I just think it's good to see because it sounds like the findings are a lot, and you'll start to see that really there aren't that many instances when you think of the size of our schools, and the fact most of these processes are handled by 1 person at each school. So Bronson Elementary School only had 1 finding. So that was, there was a purchase made from internal funds that they say they did not have documented pre-approval for. Bronson Middle High School had 4 findings. 1 was for money collected took more than 5 days to be deposited. The other, they noticed that a collection date on the receipt was not eligible, or they couldn't read it. The other was during testing, they noticed that there was a purchase without pre-approval. And the 4th was there was a purchase without sufficient documentation to support that purchase. Cedar Key had 5. They had 2 instances where funds collected did not have a collection report on file. There were 3 purchases made from internal funds that did not have pre-approval. There was 1 purchase that was missing an electric or hard copy of the purchase order, so they couldn't determine if pre-approval was obtained. There was another instance where a check was issued that did not contain 2 authorized signatures. That sounds scary, but sometimes in these really small schools it is difficult, but we need to ensure that they have the proper signatures. And the last one was there was money collected. There was 1 instance of money collected where it took more than 5 days for it to be deposited. One thing to keep in mind is they're doing tests, sample tests, so they're not testing every transaction, but so this gives you an idea though of what they tested. Chiefland Elementary had 3 findings. 1 was funds collected outside the school office were not turned in by the next business day. There was 1 where a check was issued that did not contain 2 signatures, or it did contain 2 signatures, I'm sorry, but 1 was not the principal, and our policy in the Red Book dictates that 1 be the principal. And finally, there were 2 purchases that did not have documented pre-approval. I believe in talking to my finance officer, we already have a workaround for that. They are getting pre-approval, but it's somehow not flowing through the system, so we're creating a check request, and that's already been created, but they have not been using that. Every school should use a check request so that they're getting approval on the front end. Chiefland Middle High School had 4. There were some accounting issues with some transfers between funds, the way it was recorded as a revenue, and it should not have been recorded that way. That's pretty easy to do, because before, internal accounts were accounted for separately. Now they're part of our larger AFR, so our annual financial report, so it requires some extra steps to make those two marry. There were 7 purchases made from internal funds that did not have documented pre-approval. There was 1 purchase that did not have supporting documentation for review. And there was 1 instance where the collection report was not dated by the person that collected the funds, so they couldn't see how long it took to get that in the bank. Joyce Bullock only had 1, and it was 2 purchases that did not have pre-approval by the principal. Wilson Elementary had 3. 1 instance where the collection report was not dated, again, by the collector, so they couldn't assess if it was timely. There was 1 purchase that did not have pre-approval from the principal, and there was a journal entry that didn't have supporting documentation. Williston Middle High School had 4. 2 instances where the collection report was not dated, so they couldn't assess timeliness. 3 instances where the purchase, this is violating our policy, but 3 instances where purchases exceeded $2,500 and they did not submit it for superintendent approval prior to the purchase. There were 2 purchases made from internal funds that did not have documented pre-approval by the principal, and 2 instances were noted where funds were collected outside the school office and not turned in by the next business day. Finally, Yankeetown had 3. 1 instance where funds were collected and not submitted within the 1 business day, a purchase made from internal accounts that did not have supporting documentation, and 2 journal entries that did not have secondary approvals. So what happens is my finance officer collects this data, she submits this data to the school, and we ask the bookkeepers to tell us what they're gonna do to correct these actions. Some of these things are outside their control, but it's important for them to take ownership and tell us things that they're gonna do to try to make this, make these findings not reoccur. So they do that, they go through that with us, we work with them on our end to see if it's training or if it's something else we can institute. Often, it's things outside their control, like the collection in a timely manner, and they have to talk to the principal to remind the teachers and so forth. But all in all, I think this was a very good outcome. There are things we can do better, and we do work with them to do better. Do you have any questions or concerns about any of that?
I had one, but you answered it, and it was about the money at Chiefland Middle High School back fund.
Okay. And some of those, we have new people in those roles, so some of that's gonna happen just because we have new people. But my finance officer tries to look through all their transactions and catch those before the audit. For example, when there's nothing attached to a journal entry, that's a red flag for us. So usually she's able to catch those in advance. So sometimes while it rises to the level of a finding, we are able to find where that support documentation was. It just wasn't where it should have been during the audit. But we have red flags that we look for. And because if you're gonna have fraud occur, it is going to occur in your internal account. So we push from the finance department to limit cash, limit cash. I don't need an action on that. That was just informational only. The next 2 will be informational, and then I will have an action item for you at the end. So the charter schools fall under us as a sponsor. So every year they are audited by an organization called Price & Associates. We're Purvis & Gray. They're a separate CPA firm. They do both Whispering Winds and Nature Coast. So we're happy to report that Nature Coast had no findings, and they were reported that their financial statements were presented fairly in all material respects. So Whispering Winds, I'm sorry, I don't think I said Nature Coast. Whispering Winds is good. Nature Coast had the same, that everything was presented fairly and materially, but they did have 1 finding. This finding was new for me, so it's actually called deteriorating financial condition. And what started this finding was their fund balance deficit, or their deficit that impacted their fund balance. Should they have that same level of deficit this year, they do not have sufficient fund balance to cover that. So what happens is their auditor issues this finding, and they talk about the decrease in the net position, and they go on to say that they cannot sustain a similar decrease were it to happen in 25-26. So what that does is that kicks off statute 1002.345. And that forces us, it's called a financial emergency. And the requirement on our end is if a financial audit conducted by a CPA in accordance with 218.39 reveals one or more conditions, one of those conditions is this deteriorating financial condition, then we have to assist the charter school in coming up with a financial recovery plan. We have to notify the Commissioner of Education within 7 business days of this finding, which we did. And we have 30 days after that to file a financial recovery plan with the state after we notify the Commissioner of Education. So I think day 30 is today or tomorrow, but the way everything aligned, we needed to get it board approved by Nature Coast, and then we needed to get it board approved by you all. So the first thing we did was set a meeting. Mr. Colin, I can't say names. Mr. Lott, myself met with Mr. Bowe from Nature Coast, and we talked over this finding and got some ideas from him on what he was looking to do in that financial recovery plan. We talked through some things that might work or may not work. We also suggested 3 conditions from the district moving forward, that their financial statement either have their financial condition ratio, or they provide me with monthly financial statements. They provide me with another form that I don't normally receive so that I can calculate their financial condition ratio. They have already complied with that. I asked for a cash flow statement or analysis to come to us monthly with those statements. They've already provided that. And then I asked for monthly budget to actual statements, and that can be built into their financial statements. I do not believe that piece was on their last financial statement, but I know he's working on all of that. So that just helps us, because it is our responsibility to ensure that they are fiscally sound, or if not, that those notifications occur. This would come up in an operation finding that the district could actually be have findings. So that's where we are with that. They did turn in a fiscal recovery plan. I have attached that to this presentation for you all to review. Basically, what it is showing you is at the top, it's showing you their estimated general fund revenues. This would be based on, I gave them this number based on their second calculation, but I updated it with the FTE that we received for their 3rd count, so their October count, because I knew it was going to go down. And then you have their general fund expenditures. As you can see, their expenditures exceed their revenues. And you can see they're starting out the school year with a 5.59 financial condition ratio. So the next section is showing you the things that they're going to change, reduce, or remove to recover. It looks like about $20,000. So they want to reduce their expenditures by $20,000. And at the end of this school year, they will still have a financial condition ratio above 3%. So all of that we are agreeable to. Now we just have to watch monthly to see
If they're doing
it. So what we would do is come before the board and let you know their board did approve this on December 1st, and we would ask, unless you have any questions, that our board approve this, and we will continue to monitor it with Nature Coast.
I make a motion to approve the recovery plan.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
What if they don't comply to it?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Failure to correct deficiencies. The sponsor may decide not, this is coming straight from statute. The sponsor may decide not to renew or may terminate a charter if the charter school fails to correct the deficiencies noted in the corrective action plan within 1 year of being notified of the deficiencies, or exhibits one or more financial emergency conditions for 2 consecutive years. So that is, I'm not sure how easy it is to that part of the statute, but that's what we'd be looking for. And if they fell below 3%, yeah. Anyway, but that would be in statute how we could remedy that. But for now, we will just hold them to the same measure we have, and if they fall below 3%, we're gonna have to get, a different financial recovery plan or fiscal recovery plan. They're experiencing some of the same things that we're experiencing, a reduction in FTE. I feel that Mr. Bowe was very open to learning how he might be able to change.
The only reason I ask is because, and I think you'll remember this, a few years back, there was one of those charter schools, there was a little keeping up with who was in school problem. And they wanted to bill us. And we don't have any authority on anything. I get aggravated with us getting the bill and we don't have authority to do it. That's my question.
Yes, that was with Spring Winds. You're correct. So we will monitor that, and if at any time it meets one of those conditions, we will come back before the board and talk.
Okay.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lake. And Mr. Lott, you're next on the agenda.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Seems like forever that I introduced this first board policy. But as you remember, very shortly thereafter, we had two more, so we just grouped them all together. But we have three policies that are before the board. 4.44, which is participation in home education, private school, and virtual school students, and extracurricular activities and interscholastic athletics. A lot of that language came from House Bill 443 and revisions to Florida Statutes 1006.15. Again, that's a model policy that came from NEFAC for us. We also have 4.31, which was another policy dealing with athletics, and in particular transfer students and those students that we have to approve good cause for, which basically this is a situation where a kid transfers to one of our schools. The conditions are such that he should be eligible to participate very shortly and not have to wait out in order to participate. We had that language already in our student code of conduct, so we just want to formalize the language on both of those. And then the last one that we had was 5.42, school health services, and they added some mental health referral language in now. So as far as I know, we've had no public comments. We have advertised for the required length of time, and in one case, well beyond the required length of time for that. And so at this time, unless there are any questions, we would ask for approval of these new board policies.
I hear a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Lott. And next up is Mr. Breezy.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here before you tonight to give you an update on the purchase of our emergency purchase of the fire alarm system for Joyce Bullock Elementary School. We're doing this under the emergency purchases and bids section of board policy 7.13. And we're required to reach out to at least two vendors to get quotations to follow this policy. We reached out to three and got three quotations. I have made sure each one of them could, provide the services, which we would not have reached out to them if we didn't think they could. And Mr. Huber has a lot of time in this trying to get in the weeds and figure out, what we need as far as the services. We went through all the bids in depth and have presented those findings to Mrs. Boyle, as policy states, and
upon mine and Mr. Huber's evaluation and recommendation, she authorized us to proceed. I'm here to update you and give you tabulations and our reasons and justifications. And it says we need ratification according to the policy. So does that mean I'll be asking them for approval?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. So, get back over here. Okay. We received the quotes from 3 companies. Mid-State Electric came in at $132,500. Central Fire and Communications came in at $76,800. And Science Building Solutions, which is a division of WW Gate, came in at $76,310. They're the lowest bid. Very competitive from Central Fire and Science. And I'd like to make a recommendation in the end, Mr. Huber, to move forward with Central Fire and Communications as a contractor for the project. We believe any of these companies are capable of completing the project, like I said, but the cost really narrowed our choices down to 2, which would be Science and Central Fire. When we asked, Mr. Huber asked for a request for bids, he specifically requested that each company provide a cost for a system that is non-proprietary, which means we can purchase parts ourselves, do the labor ourselves using our techs without having to go through a particular vendor or company for services, software, and we do a lot of our work in-house. If this wasn't such a big project, we'd probably be doing it in-house, but we just don't have the staff. So the Scions provided us with a quote that was a non-proprietary system, one that Mr. Huber specifically asked not be quoted. And although their number is $490 less, we will recommend going with Central Fire Communications due to that reason. I believe we're going to save a bunch of money in the future for the district. The system's going to require repairs down the road, updates, and it isn't what we requested to be quoted.
That's right.
So we have used all these vendors for difference, continue to use all these vendors, and feel good with any of them. And we just think that Central Fire Communications is best for this particular project. So I'm asking for y'all's approval.
Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Thank you for all the work and
I
how
will
quickly
say-
you did that.
They've hit the ground running, so
Good.
Great.
hoping to get them done through Christmas. No guarantees, but that's what we're hoping to. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
I need
You're gonna be
exercise,
joined.
but I ain't gonna be.
Hello.
Good. We have a whole team of people with us this evening for this board approval request. But I wanted to take the opportunity to update you on the Workforce Development Capitalization Grant relative to agri-technology. You guys are aware that we received a grant from the state for agri-technology expansion, but I haven't had the chance to really onboard you with what that means and what it looks like for our district. There's a lot of front-loading that had to happen before I felt comfortable sharing with you the vision and the plan, because I wanted to make sure that I heard from all of our schools and our principals relative to what they feel like is the next step for expanding agri-technology on all of their campuses. So we felt like this is the perfect time in coming to you with approval to give you some updates and help you
better understand the grant and where we're headed with it. So ultimately, as I mentioned, it is a state-funded grant. Governor DeSantis wants to be the leading state in career and technical education in the next few years, and so he has invested many of millions of dollars into career tech ed. And so the state has offered something called workforce capitalization incentive grants to secondary and post-secondary institutions. I applied for the grant back in maybe May. We probably started the process in February sometime, 2025. And then we were awarded the grant for agri-technology expansion around June of this year for $1.7 million. That was the max amount that we could apply for, and so we went all in. We didn't leave any money on the table. And the focus area specifically for that round of workforce capitalization grant, aka the CAP grant, was agri-technology specifically. The state really feels like agri-technology is the wave of the future in career pathways as well as other career pathways, but this one specifically. And it really spoke to our strong ag programs in all 4 of our schools, and even Yankeetown taking on a little bit of ag there. So you'll notice that it doesn't show Yankeetown on here because it's for 9-12 programs. So the agri-technology focus is Bronxville Middle High, Cedar Key, Chiefland Middle High, and Williston Middle High. And the goal is to provide those real-world opportunities for students to get more hands-on learning experiences, but they be relative to agri-technology. We know that career pathways are changing relative to agriculture, and so we want to expose them to what it could look like and how careers have shifted because of technology. Now, that sounds really fancy, to be quite frank. We just need to upgrade our facilities so that we can have awesome opportunities for our students, and we want to sprinkle in the agri-technology exposure. So we're starting at ground zero of upgrading facilities because that is the #1 priority for our schools. That funding window for this grant is June 2025 through June of 2027. So we have some time, but in my mind, we have no time. I feel, to kind of go off script for a moment, that my background in construction, I now know why God placed me in that world of work for about 8 years before I moved into my passion of teaching, and that's to support this very project. And I know what it takes to coordinate a construction project, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to spend all the money and capitalize on what's available to us. So I say through June of 2027, but we're going to try to move as quickly as possible. And we have been, even though it feels like you're just now coming to us. So if we look at the progress we've made since we received the award in June, this summer we hosted a summer workshop in partnership. I'm going to skip down to like the 6th bullet. Michelle Crawford is here in the audience, and we hired her under this grant as an OPS for grant support and as curriculum and instruction alignment. So she has been helping me, and I feel incredibly blessed to have her level of expertise as part of this process because she is very familiar with agriculture. But her and I hosted a workshop this summer with our ag teachers, and you can see some pictures up here of the teachers really hashing out on chart paper what do they want, what's their utopia, what are their ideal needs, what do they really want to see happen for students, so that we could like kind of start pulling stuff out of their brain and figuring out, okay, from here, where are our priorities? Because they have ideas, and even since June, their ideas have changed about 56,000 times. And so every time they go to a conference or they go see another ag program, it shifts their focus and what they want to do. So it's been exciting to see how eager they are. We then, Kelly Barnes, I have to attribute this to, she wanted to go see Lafayette and Bell's ag facilities because Bell received the CAP grant the year prior, and they used some of the funding for a barn expansion. And Lafayette, I don't believe, received the CAP grant, but used other funding to build a new pig barn operation facility. And so when Kelly asked, could she go take off the day and see those facilities, I said, absolutely, but can we all tag along so that all of our ag teachers across the district could get to see that? So me and Breezy and Matt jumped into the minibus, and all of our ag teachers went and toured those two facilities. So that's what that top and bottom pictures are. Those schools embraced us, took us in, and basically told us the good, bad, and the ugly about their experience and what they suggest and recommend that we do or purchase or build. So it was a really great day together. It was a great day to kind of kick off. And Michelle was with us, yes, absolutely. And so after that, we then really mirrored what Bell High School's advisor and ag teacher did, which is he kind of on his own by himself created these priority projects that he wanted to do. And within every priority project, he then listed, if I want to accomplish this priority, these are all the things that I need to purchase in order to accomplish it. And then he prioritized all the purchases. And so in seeing his approach to it, Michelle and I decided we need to adopt that because we're going to be maybe buying things we don't need to buy right this moment, and we want to leverage using these funds appropriately and immediately. And so we brought the teachers back in for a second workday, and they basically built a massive spreadsheet that we're all very familiar with. And it shows every project under the sun that they want to do, they want to see happen with their programs. The cool thing about this priority project list is it really outlines what their utopia is, but it doesn't mean that it's all going to be accomplished under the CAP grant. The good news is we continue to receive Perkins federal funding to support Career Tech Ed. So we're able to take their priorities, determine what is the ultimate top priority, what does it take to accomplish that? How much is it going to cost? And then if there's money on the table, we can meet some other priority needs, or at least now we kind of have this 5-year strategic quote-unquote plan of accomplishing all their visions and goals relative to this CAP grant specifically, Perkins funding, or maybe even CAPE funding in the future, but really focusing on Perkins. Do you have anything that you want to add to that? I don't mean to put you on the spot. Okay, please jump in. You should be standing up here with us. Okay. We did go ahead and purchase 3 vehicles, 3 ag trucks. I'm sure you saw that advertised. Those were written into the CAP grant initially. Brandon helped us acquire those. Mr. Joe in transportation, shout out to their team too. And so we got the ag trucks. They're now all at the schools. Every school has one. Chiefland purchased theirs last year out of their CAPE funding, and they were like ready and eager, and it was before we ever knew this CAP grant opportunity existed. And so that's why it feels like, well, how did Chiefland get one? It was before we knew this money existed. And then we also purchased an additional van to keep over in transportation so that the ag teachers could check it out to go compete in events if they needed to fit more students in a vehicle besides the truck. So we added to that fleet down in transportation. And then the only other major purchase, and this isn't incredibly major, has been 2 large chicken coops, one for Williston Middle High and one for Cedar Key School. They're mobile and large, and so they can kind of pick it up with the tractor and move it around. Those were kind of immediate needs for those schools to continue the projects they were already doing with dilapidated situations, or Cedar Key, the lack thereof. I've already spoke to Michelle, again, a huge blessing, someone I incredibly admire and have been very excited to learn from through this process. We've had teachers engage in quite a bit of professional learning, whether it be through NEFEC Skills Ignite or any of their relative ag PL, and so the CAP grant has supported a lot of that professional learning time. For now, I'm doing very minimal purchases or allowing very many purchases on consumables or equipment or capitalized, non-capitalized assets because I really want to know how much is it going to cost for the construction of the projects. That's my top priority with this grant because later on I can always buy the consumables through Perkins if I spend all my money on the build side of things. I would like to see a balance of both, but given the unknowns and kind of a little bit why we're here today on what the design is going to look like for these and the cost is going to look like, I don't want to spend all of our money now on buying tractors or attachments or things and then not have enough to do the construction, which is the priority. I did have a meeting recently, and Ms. Boyle and I have talked about this, same with Mr. McClellan. I met with someone about bringing a drone certification here, which is a perfect fit for agri-technology expansion. I know Kelly Barnes specifically is really excited about that opportunity. And so really I put that in here as a stay tuned, but I'm sure you're hearing out in the world about drones being the new thing and really where agriculture and other business entities are headed with delivery. And so I would really like to see that opportunity embedded in our ag tech programs. I'm gonna pass the mic to these fellows here to talk about our.
I wasn't able to be part of it, but we did have a mandatory meeting for all the construction that anybody wanted to be able to do a proposal. And there were 7 of them that showed up to y'all's meeting, and 6 of them actually sent a proposal in. So I thought that was
good.
really well.
And we have 2 companies here tonight, Scorpio Construction, represented by Mr. Eric Anderson, and Messina and Sons Construction, Anthony Messina. They have been very gracious to be involved and showed a lot of interest in this project. And
We presented in the mandatory pre-bid meeting, basically the priorities and a scope of work that we as a team were able to sit down and dissect from what the teachers' visions were. I'm really impressed with how they were able to take what wasn't much and be able to provide kind of a direction that we need to head in, but we're nowhere near figuring out what the cost is gonna be or even what the design looks like. So ultimately, we need someone to help us design it and have that level of
to
expertise.
give you an idea of that, it'd be like going to your house and saying, we want a barn. You don't know exactly what you want. You want this, this, and this, but somebody's got to tie that together and make it all work out at the end to get what you want. And that's where the company, and I think it was just too overwhelming for us to try to do it in-house. I think we could have got there, but the Lord, it's been a project, so.
And there are some things that you guys have said in-house you can do that are not relative to this scope, but they're pretty minimal. So essentially, I am gonna kind of skip ahead just a little bit so that we can then come to you and ask permission to go into some negotiations on contract. But the goal would be that after we engage with the construction manager, we're able to kind of come up with that finalization of a project timeline and begin those construction phases. Once the construction is mostly done or we have a really kind of solid direction on numbers and amounts, then I'll move forward with purchasing those consumables, capitalized, non-capitalized assets, and then continue our cross-program coordination, kind of the work we're doing across the district to really align this program. And then I envision providing you guys with periodic updates on where we are, both with the construction manager, with the project in general, and just overall. I would like to see our ag teachers come here and showcase what their visions are too.
So we had a rubric that we all did together and scored it together. And Scorpio was overall the best, we thought. But what we would like to ask is to award it to Scorpio first and then to Messina and Sons as second, in case we can't come to terms with Scorpio to begin with. We don't have to come back before the board to be able to ask y'all to go for the second option.
Someone that's been on the board for a while and even has been involved, we've had that problem with the school before. And not that it's necessarily gonna be a problem, but till we can get down, like I said earlier, in the weeds of things, we don't know, they don't know what exactly we're gonna be needing. So we got to make sure it's the best fit for both and the costs work out. And it's a lot of moving parts because we're at so many different places with so many different projects at each place. That's why we need somebody to manage this project. And if we have an alternate, then
save some time.
Out, then we can go right on without having to go through the process again.
And I think one of the most important things I completely forgot to add in the presentation is that the state doesn't allow new construction. So we can't go in and build a brand new barn, right? It's all remodel of existing structures, which therein lies some of the issue in need for construction manager, because they're having to make adjustments to stuff that's existing. So if you're wondering why we're not building brand new, the state doesn't allow brand new, they don't allow the living or the dead, so I can't buy cows and stuff like that either. So weird limitations on that large of a sum, so we're having to get pretty creative with some things. You'll probably hear or see at some point that Williston Middle High got really creative and crowdsourced funding for a new barn and site work for that new barn. And that's something that they're doing on their own to get it, so that when we're ready to outfit that barn, we can do that through the AgTech grant, but we can't build something brand new.
Can you do an extension on
Yeah, we
an
could do a
existing structure?
remodel.
So there's a barn there, you could
Yeah,
run another wing.
exactly. Ish, yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Sort of ish.
Yeah. All right. So.
And y'all are confident in your choices. Because I believe in y'all.
We are confident in each one of these companies.
It's these two guys.
You can't ask us that in front of them.
I know.
But yes, it come down to what our rubric was asking, and that's where the choices separated a little bit. We pulled this from other rubrics, and, or we, meaning her, so, cause she's good with that kind of thing. Y'all can't imagine the hours she's put into this, and the time we had, I think, almost 4-hour meeting, coming to this conclusion, just for this, going over the different, aspects. Is a lot to figure out, and try to get apples to apples, and, not that any one of the companies weren't qualified. They just didn't meet what we were looking for up here. Some of them left some stuff out, so it kind of kicked them out. But very, very good participation, I think.
Well, as a fellow who sat here many years ago and watched one firm say, we'll build that school and we can do it cheap, we'll do it better than anybody ever. And then about a month later, we can't even come nowhere near that school. I like the idea of us having a backup plan so we don't have to start all over. I like
And
that. Smart
Our
idea.
goal, as we've stated with them in our pre-bid meeting, is to get the most we can get for Levy County. Got to pay them for their services, but we want to try to get the most we can get for Levy County.
Well, to wrap it up, sorry.
Work 'em hard.
Yeah. To wrap it up, I do want to give you a heads up just while I have the floor. You will hear or have heard that we were awarded an additional CAP grant. So I wrote a second one for health, our Health Academy and Applied Cybersecurity. I actually included our hospitality. We tried to spin it as farm to table so we could get a food truck for Cedar Key. But the state is really not feeling hospitality and culinary at all. It blows my mind because we are a hospitality state. But according to them, they're not high wage. So here we are. So I wrote the grant for $1.8 million. We were awarded $901,000. We don't have the money in our hand right this very second. We're waiting on approval for the RFA, but I imagine we would have that in the next month or so. So that impacts Williston Middle High School and Chiefland Middle High School with their health science programs. And Bronson Middle High School, we started a brand new applied cybersecurity program this year in Mike Wilson's class. And so we'll be looking at adding some technology and instructional materials to bring on applied cybersecurity. With the health programs, really just equipment. I'm looking at a really cool kind of tractor trailer situation that is a, yes, a lab, what is the word, a simulator. And so they walk into it and basically it's a hospital, and every room there's, where you enter and kind of have them check you in, take you back to get your weight, then go into surgery or go into the doctor's office. And so the kids can almost act as though they're in that. I know our schools kind of have a lab environment, but to take the students through an entire process would be really amazing.
Virtual, right? More virtual.
No, not virtual. Everything's actually real.
There.
and so that's why the word simulation sounds weird, because I thought that too.
Mhm.
But you're just kind of acting as though, but with real live situations, and that could be, or will be shared between both the schools, so they would get days where they would use it. So, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Ms. Boyle, Mr. Lott, Mr. McClellan for allowing me to run with these ideas, our board members for hearing us out, Breezy Mac and Brandon, of course, and finance. You guys put up with me every day with different things. My department, Michelle, and just all the people behind the scenes that are making this happen for our school and our students and teachers.
So you need a motion from us for your
Yes,
recommendation?
Do you have any questions first? Particularly to Mr. Huber.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a schedule. Trying to think, is it warmer here than in Alabama?
So right now, the air's not even on.
I know it, shut
I move we accept the recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't talk so much next time.
This is another presentation.
Now is the time for public comments. No, it's not. One more?
One more.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Morgan. I'm sorry.
I'm sure you are.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Delightful in my eyes. All right, so good evening, board. A few meetings ago, you all approved for us to go out for requests for proposals for WAN services. So for the members of the public, just like people at home have to procure internet services for their house, we have to procure internet services for our schools. And so we do that through the federal E-rate program, and this request for proposals is basically the connections that service and go from our network 4 to all of our school sites. So I'm pleased to report that we had excellent participation. We did have multiple bids. They were very good bids. And in the end, I can say that the scoring committee felt like we just had to lean back on what some of the rules of E-rate say, which is everything else being equal, you have to put the highest value on the actual amount of the service charge that they would place. So given all of that, the recommendation of the committee was that we recommended the board that they approve the contract with AT&T. This will be the proposal is for a 3-year contract with 2 one-year extensions. So this would secure our women's services for the next 5 years. There's a menu of options in terms of bandwidth and all of that, so we can choose that and work with them to develop the contract, which we will then interview with the later meeting. So I do want to say that I really appreciate all the companies that participated in this proposal process. Worked with all of them in various capacities before. They all had great proposals, and it was reassuring as a small district that sometimes has limited options for internet services, that there are people out there that are interested in our business. So that's my recommendation for the board to approve.
How's their reliability been?
It has been fairly solid recently. And I will say that if you look at the scoring, there is a very significant cost difference between that and the next provider. And I will say many of the other providers may be leasing services from the organizations that own the fiber. If that makes sense.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Now is the time for public comments. Seeing none, we'll move on to approval of minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Motion passes.
Did you want to speak?
Sorry, I rushed through that. I'm sorry.
It's from the FFA.
Yeah, right.
You're over the 11.
Yeah, exactly.
She's ready to go.
Moving to the consent agenda. Has everyone had a chance? Does anybody have any questions, concerns? Seeing none, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Superintendent's comments.
there already?
Fine.
Finance is in consent now.
Okay, that's right.
It's all
That's
together.
right. Sorry.
Okay, I'm up. Wow, I'm trying to write this down so I don't ramble and keep everybody here longer than you want to be on a Tuesday evening.
We're at 4 hours.
Okay, thank you. No, the conference that we all attended, it was wonderful. You know, I know it's a drive, I know it takes everybody out of their comfort zone a little, away from their normal routines, and that's a lot. It's a lot to ask. But thank you for doing what you did to attend. I think we had a great time. I think it lets us bond a little bit
That's right.
more
Team
as a
building.
group. And we only talk about food, friends, and family. That's all we're allowed to talk about when we're away. So that's what we stick to. The legislative workshop, very valuable, I think. Appreciate you showing up early. Appreciate the district showing up early because it takes all of you away from it. Leading into that, I know that nobody wants to talk about the B word, the budget word, but I want all of you to know, prior to that legislative workshop, you had the lead team at district meeting for another, we've talked about meetings before, but today was another meeting for 3 hours. So we are taking this very seriously. We're talking about it. We're bringing the team together and getting ideas from each district leader, coordinators, everyone. Ms. Kim has broken down every subject that we need to see within her budget as well. That will be shared, you know, that's also able to be shared with you. But just so you know, here at district, we are taking line by line and getting ideas and seeing what we can do. So we are taking it very seriously. Just want you to know that. Another step that we've talked about in the past, and I know those that have been on the board for a while have worked with one, is the strategic plan. So we had one years ago. I think when I first came on the board, it was just kind of phasing out. We're going to bring that back because I think as a district, a strategic plan takes all of their knowledge and expertise. It'll take your knowledge and expertise, and we kind of move in one direction. You know, admin will be involved, stakeholders will be involved. So you will probably get an email shortly from some team leaders out there at district, and we'll break it down at this point into 5 separate areas of focus. That may change. Send out some surveys to the public, Rotaries, things like that, small businesses, get everyone involved. And I think by building a team and working towards one goal, we are really going to move Levy County forward and still focus on the budget aspect and still work towards what's going to happen in the future and saving our dollars and making sure that student achievement is not affected. Okay, so I think with that one goal, it's a good plan. But the goal to have this finished may seem kind of steep, but we gave ourselves 6 months. And maybe by June 1st, we'll have everything put together and roll that out with professional learning that'll happen over the summer, and then roll right into the next school year with that strategic plan and vision. Okay. I don't want to take any FFA state chant. Not, if you're going to talk about that, I'll skip that. We didn't have a meeting before the gala. Before the gala.
No.
Not after.
Yes, yeah.
Not yet. So I think it was very successful at Chiefland Middle High School, the cafeteria. The decorations were beautiful, didn't miss anything, and everyone worked very hard at that. Levy County School Foundation, just tremendous amount of work,
Yeah.
always.
Good turnout.
very good turnout. And other than that, I know I won't be talking to many before, Christmas. Our Christmas break's coming up. The kids are working hard, teachers are working hard, testing. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I can be done. 5 minutes.
Madam Chair, just with the new system, there was an additional item 16 that did not fall under military leave request, that did not fall under the consent agenda, so we probably ought to
Need a
have
vote
a
on
vote
it?
on that.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Mr. Asbell, you're up.
Oh, thank you,
You have a
ma'am.
word count of 100 tonight.
I'll start off with congratulations to Bronson FFA's Farm and Agribusiness Management Team. Team members were Carson Meeks and Tess Vlacos and Kanzeta Russ. They finished first in state in that contest. Not only that, the high individual for the state was from Bronson, Carson Meeks, and the second high individual was from Bronson, and Tess Vlacos. So we're really proud of them. Everything seems to be going real smooth so far, and I am thrilled to death with the young people that were here tonight. That contest, when I did that contest in school 40 years ago, it was completely different. And I asked the one child that I knew what she was doing, Miss Whitehurst. My day, Robert Philpott was, you make cakes, you move motions. So I asked her about that. I kept hearing maker, or I make this motion. Maybe that's acceptable now, but I will even sit here, nothing against you good people, but I will hear some of y'all say, I'd like to make a motion. What pops in my head is Mr. Philpott, don't make motions, you make cakes. Move motion to me. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Moving on that, I drug down to Tampa to the conference. I'm generally the last guy to get there and try to be the first guy to leave because I'm terrible at those things. But at the same time, I like it for a couple reasons. Number one, general public doesn't know this, but I think they should understand this. We don't get to talk to each other, except right here, and it's always about this stuff. So it's great to, like I say, we get to talk about food, family, and friends, and you get to realize that that's a real human, and you have life experiences, and you get to know each other better than just this cut and dry. And I use the term dry on this stuff here. So it was good to be off with all of you, and I'm sorry if I bored you, and I've been accused of monopolizing conversations.
You didn't bore us.
Okay.
Definitely not boring. You didn't monopolize the conversation. You did not bore us.
Well, there's lots of witnesses that'll tell you he does do
I
it.
thoroughly enjoyed it, actually.
We're being recorded.
I enjoy hearing Cameron Aswell talk, okay?
I know a lot about this person sitting next to me.
Well, let's keep that.
Good, bad, ugly. But anyway, the other part I like about it is, if you go to that thing, I wish everybody could go to the thing, really. Especially people that think
Seriously.
Levy County don't have their stuff together. Because you talk to some neighboring counties and they ain't got their stuff together. We got our stuff together. That's not saying we always vote alike. That doesn't mean we always agree on everything. But that's saying we handle it with civility. We have ultimately the best for the district involved. And there's not this silly which you witness in other places. And if you sit in on a couple of those little out session things, there's some of those places got crazy problems, not only among their board, but then they have a hard time communicating with their constituency, which to my knowledge, I can only speak for me. I'm an open book. You may want to talk to me, we'll talk about it. I may not be able to help you, but we'll sure talk about it. You may not get the answer you want, but you'll get the honest, truthful answer, and that's what all these people here do. I did hear a couple things that I thought were great ideas. Some things we already do that, and we I think we were all in there to hear that. I like the idea of the student board members, where the kids come in and have they don't have a vote, but I've thought about it. My kids are now grown. When I had kids in school, I knew what was going on at school. Now I'm kind of out and about, and it'd be nice to know that, hey, what we think is a big priority may not be a priority to a kid, or something that we sit here going, Anybody that was here will know, when we had the idea of the cell phone, you gotta put that cell phone up. I wasn't sure I liked that. It'd have been great to hear what a kid thought.
Working on that.
What a kid thought. I think those are great. Another one showed an example of a total compensation report that they give to the employees at the end of the year to better explain, hey, this is your salary, this is your supplement, this is what your health insurance is worth, this is what your retirement, the benefits, all that stuff. And then they spoke of, and years ago, when Mr. Hastings did, he called it just the fact. And Mrs. Bull does a great job. You send out a thing at the end of the weeks, and it's great. Some of these schools were talking about that, and I thought, well, that is, we've done that for a long time, where go ahead and put out the fire before it gets away. This is the fact, whatever the fact is. Oh, I heard they're going to push down Yankeetown School and build a water park out there. No, ain't nobody doing that. But before it gets to snowballing, like things will, the facts come out. And there were a lot of other things that I heard that I was like, I really have to do that? We're already doing that. This is a new idea to y'all? We already do that. We already talk about, we have workshops. We do this. And I think it's great to work with people that we got it together. That's pretty awesome. And I wish we could load up everybody to go down to Tampa. Everybody meaning the county. I don't know where we'd all sleep, but just to spend a day with it. And you go, wow, we are fortunate that we have caring, intelligent, with the exception of me, people who are on top of their game and are looking out for the best interest of the district as a whole. That's kids, that's employees, that's parents, all of them. I think that's awesome. And sometimes the counties you can see going, maybe not. I'll leave it at that, and I will say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that, and I can't wait to see you next year. I'll have new stories for you.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll be listening. I too enjoyed the conference, and the hot topics were AI and Schools of Hope, and of course money. But we also got to hear firsthand the expectations of Tallahassee from the commissioner, which was very interesting. But it really was a great time to be together, and we do have a very, very good team. And we communicate well, and what Cameron just said, we're about the whole county. We're about our schools, but we are about the whole county, and I like that. And it's a great place to be sitting on the board, because when I did also hear some of the stories of other board members, I was thinking, thank the Lord I'm leaving county.
That's right.
Thank the Lord we're small. But anyway, besides that, tonight was a very full night, and it was great to watch the FFA perform. I mean, they're fantastic, really good, and I wish them well in their next competition. And it's always great to hear all that's going to happen in the county, and hearing the different requests and the changes. We're always moving forward, and I'm happy with that. Our Christmas program was wonderful, and I think that, as I was sitting there, I was thinking it was a packed house. There was so many people. The town was there, and it just brings everybody together, and it just I thought, wow, here we go, check it off for title. We have people together, we're working on a program, we're doing something academic, but we're having fun. And it was great, and a lot of work went into it, and I was proud of our teachers, and Janya, our art teacher, who coordinated it. And we had a volunteer for the music, who's been wonderful. But it brings the community together, and it's just a great example of Levy County schools at their best.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Baxter?
Well, at Chiefland Elementary, their Christmas concert is next week. Looking forward to that. Over at the high school, they have an AVID activity going on this Friday that I am planning to attend. So I'm looking forward to those things. I enjoyed the conference too. Wow, we've got a great team. I was so impressed with Williston Middle High School FFA, and they did a great job. Very impressive. And I want to thank Tanya Taylor for all the, you really have done a lot of work on this project already, and we just appreciate you. I know that you have help from Breezy and Mac and Brandon and Michelle and different ones, but thanks for what you're doing there. And thank you, Kim, always making it sound a lot simpler than it really is. We appreciate you. But I also want to do a shout out. I am so proud going to the conference last week. Linda and I have been working on becoming certified board members. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. But our superintendent, she has become a certified superintendent. And I'm proud of her because that is a lot of work. She's had tests to take and study for, and it's been a process. With all that she's already doing, we're retired and we haven't accomplished our certified board member yet, but I'm just proud of her and her leadership. And Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas. Sorry, I'll get your back for that.
Again, I enjoyed the FSBA. They won't brag on themselves, but Miss Lisa and Miss Linda did get their emerging leaders
That's right.
little pin, so
That's right.
that was her accomplishment. Yeah, so I know that was something Levy County in the first year to be able to get that. So proud of y'all for that, and I'm with Cameron too. And you know, having these workshops and hearing some different ideas from other places, it's kind of good to kind of see what's going on and also see how good we got it. Enjoyed the FFA. Like I say, thank y'all for allowing them to come here and kind of get a little practice in. Certainly means a lot. You know, the more they can get in front of people, the better it is. So proud of them. Hopefully they can take down Lafayette. So, and then also the middle school farm business management team got second in the state, and the tool ID, the middle school tool ID team got fifth in the state. So give a shout out to them. And like I said, Tanya, thank you for the and everybody else's work. You know, that's a lot of money. So I mean, you know, buying vehicles, renovating barns. I mean, that's big time stuff for Levy County. So I'm glad that money's out there and you're chasing it and getting all we can. So, I say, just enjoy all y'all and hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you in 2026.
Ms. Boyle, did you have anything?
I did want to say something to Tanya, and I had TT here, and
I covered up.
I know how, well, I haven't done it, but I can imagine, have a good friend in the construction area out of Gainesville. But that is a lot of work, everything that you've done. And I just remember a year ago coming into this role and having sit-down conversations with you about certain things that you had already done, and then to see it progress to where it is now. It's a lot of work. So thank you for keeping the schools and the students at the forefront and doing all that work. Everybody behind the scenes, and thank you for letting me do that.
You're welcome. I'll be quick. Yankeetown had their Christmas play program last week and turkey bingo tonight. Wrapping up testing, they're on the right track, moving forward. Carly Pro's amazing. I'm so proud of those kids and their advisors. And also so proud of Miss Westfall. I'm one of her biggest fans, and she's just remarkable. So super proud of her. And I'll echo what everyone said about the conference. I sat in a chairman's session one day, and one of the subjects was a protocol in different counties, a protocol book, and how they react. And I'm like, protocol book? What is that? And it's just how they literally have like a set of rules on how to interact with each other, and I'm like, we vote against each other, but we were all, with the exception of Miss Linda, but you've been here forever and you married an old Levy County family, but we were all raised to respect each other and to disagree in a respectful way. And our protocol is after a meeting, you good? We're good? We're good. That's our protocol. I mean, it's that easy. So I'm just so thankful to be a part of this county and for all of you guys that just, we're in such good hands. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Meeting adjourned.
She's